daycare in Australia. So most students, they don't get kids. Most people don't get kids as students. Number one is you need to be 14 years to 18 years if they have a disability. The government will withhold your 5% of your total subsidy. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, today I'm out in the park and today was a warm day, it was a beautiful day, and I've decided to just come out here and make this video that I've been planning to do, and people have been asking me on my inboxes and I didn't have the right information, but right now I believe I have the right information, and I'm happy and confident to share with you. So my topic today is about daycare in Australia. So most people, especially parents, have been asking me, what do you know about daycare? Who is eligible for daycare? And I didn't have those questions. Now I have used daycare with my child, and I'm going to do a video on that soon, and I'm going to share my experience about daycare. But today I'm going to give us a general information about daycare in Australia. Specifically, I think this will apply to Adelaide or South Australia. I don't know so much about other states, but so if you're going to a different state other than South Australia, you might need to maybe check with people who live in the other states. So I'm going to start with we all know what is daycare. An institution where children are taken to be taken care of. So for example, the non-going school children, they go to maybe it's a daycare, like it's where the kids are taken care of so that parents can maybe go to work, and sometimes not even to go to work. Daycare for me has been, and I think according to me, daycare is very good for socializing. So far I've seen a very big improvement on my child. She's socializing properly, she's learning new things. She comes home and she's doing some funny stuff that I've not taught her, and not bad things. I mean, when I say funny, I mean very new things that I know I have not taught her. So I'm so glad and I'm happy. I'm 100% happy with daycare. So this is what I'm going to talk about. For you to be eligible for daycare in Australia, there are a couple of things. Now, for daycare, and this is going to be daycare subsidy. So, for example, a daycare might charge you in a day, let's say for example $140. So $140 for a parent is quite a lot. So like for instance, for me, $140 a day is a lot of money. So the government goes ahead and subsidize that money, and they pay maybe 50%, 60%. They can pay any amount. But there are a number of eligibility criteria for you to be able to get that subsidy, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Number one is you need to be either a permanent resident of Australia or have citizenship, be a citizen of Australia. Another thing, there are people who come in Australia as scholars, like they are sponsored by the government of Australia to study in Australia. So if you get a scholarship to study in Australia, you're eligible, or your kids are eligible to get government subsidy, or the government subsidy for childcare. Another thing they consider for Australia, for a kid to get childcare subsidy, they need to be 13 years of age and below, or if not, 14 years to 18 years if they have a disability. Otherwise, the normal kids, the mainstream kids, they get the subsidy from age 0 or up to 13 years of age. And then the other cap, the other difference is 14 years to 18 years for the children with disability. Otherwise, for the normal kids from age 13, they don't get childcare subsidy. When I say normal kids, I don't mean the disability kids are not normal. I mean the kids that don't have disability, that they are not able differently. So Another thing that is considered while getting your childcare subsidy is the number of kids you have that are getting childcare subsidy. So for example, you might have 4 kids under, let's say under 5, and all of them are going for childcare. So that one might increase your childcare subsidy. So the government may pay more for you if you have more kids that are under the 13 years of age that are going for daycare. Then another thing to know, the government will check, or they will go through your income. So if you're married, the government will check your income, that is the husband and the wife's income, and from the calculations and from the additions, they will decide what percentage of subsidy they'll give you. So I'm going to do another video with the figures, the exact figures. So, but for today, we're just going to talk about the basics. So the other thing is the government will withhold your 5% of your total subsidy. So every month, for example, like for me, if I'm paying, for example, I'm supposed to pay $80 every day for my baby, for example. So I'll pay more, 5% more every day, or every fortnight. I'll pay 5% more. Then after the end of financial year, the government is going to calculate and then decide if they gave me the right amount. And if they gave me the right amount, that's fine. If they subsidize less, they are going to send me money. They are going to pay me. Now, there's one thing that the government of Australia does. Every financial year, as a couple, if you have kids and you're claiming for childcare subsidy, you need to estimate, to give the government an estimate, a rough estimate of the whole amount of money you're going to earn during that financial year. And actually, you need to estimate the right amount. Sometimes if you estimate less, so the government will pay you more for the childcare subsidy. So after the end of financial year, if they do the calculations and they realize that you estimated less than you earned, you owe the government. You start paying the government back. So it's always good to estimate more than less, so that the government will pay you later. The government withholds the 5%. The government will do the balancing check if your income matches what you estimated, and you may receive a top-up or a debt. That one I explained. Another thing to get the childcare subsidy, I said about the age. Your child needs to be 13 years of age or younger. You need to use an approved childcare service. So the childcare institution that you're taking your child, it needs to be approved by the government. So if you're not taking your child to an approved one, that means you will not get the subsidy. So you need to shop around and see which ones are government approved. But I know most of the Australian ones, they are approved. So, but it's still good to do due diligence and check which ones are approved or not, so that you get the subsidy from the government. So another thing, your child needs to be immunized. So if your child is not immunized, fully immunized by the time, by up to the age they are, like if they are 1 year, they need to be immunized until 1 year. If they are not fully immunized until that age, you don't get the subsidy, or they are not even allowed in the childcare. They'll not even admit your child. So immunization is very important. Another thing, if your child was immunized maybe overseas, you need to provide evidence to the government and tell them that your child was immunized and is fully immunized, so that they can enter the details in their websites or in their register, so that your child will be accepted in a childcare or in a daycare. Sorry. And so guys, I know most people come to Australia, especially from overseas. Most people come to Australia as students, and they come with student visas. And so people have been wondering, and of course, if I was in those shoes, I would wonder, can the government subsidize the childcare for my child if I'm a student? So, and the answer is this: so the government will not and does not subsidize childcare for children that are not either citizens or permanent residents, or, as the other I had mentioned, if you're on If you're on scholarship visa, or if the government has sponsored you to study in Australia, then your children are eligible. So if you're on a student visa, and definitely your children will be on the same visa as you, so that means you will have to pay the full amount that the childcare services charge. And to be sincere, I can tell you for real, sometimes childcare, okay, it's not sometimes, childcare is quite expensive. So if you calculate the amount you can pay daily if the government doesn't subsidize for you, it's quite a lot of money. But anyway, there's always grace. If you get kids and you're still on student visa, the Lord provides the grace. So I'll say that because I understand. When I came to Australia, I was wondering, most students, they don't get kids. Most people don't get kids as students. And now I came to understand it is very difficult to get kids when you're on a student visa, because you have your school fees to pay, there's childcare, there's bills and all this stuff. But when you're a permanent resident, it's a bit easier, and if you're a citizen, it's a bit easier because you're not paying school fees. And even if you're paying school fees, you're paying as a domestic student, which is always very cheaper. So if anyone is planning to take their kids to childcare, I can say it's totally worth it. It's totally worth it. Just shop around, ask questions, look the environment. Some childcare environments are so nice. I love the ambience of some childcare, like the one I'm taking my daughter. I completely love. I love it, and it's somewhere I can live. So I'm going to talk about in another video. I'm going to talk in details, or I'm going to add a little bit of details, like for example, what to pack when you're taking your child to the daycare, and other stuff that concerns the daycare. So stay tuned. Remember to subscribe if you've not subscribed. Remember to comment, leave a comment, let me know what you think about this video, and let me know if this video, the information I've shared here, if it's relevant to you, or if it's helpful. And if it's not relevant to you, are you able to pass it to someone else who may be wondering about childcare? And again, share this video with your friends, share my videos widely. Guys, we are on road to 1,000 subscribers. Guys, guess what? Woo! Right now we are at 593 as of today, and I'm so excited, guys. I can't wait to reach to 1,000. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to my channel, for supporting me, for leaving a comment, for cheering me up. You guys are just the best. And so guys, up to there, I love you so much. God bless you. Take care. I'll see you on my next video. Bye, guys.